is a well-known name in the legal fraternity, Senior Advocate Nitin Sardesai. Welcome to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mukesh. Nice to be here on Prudent Media once again. And I express my gratitude for having invited me on this program for the Statehood Day. So let me begin with wishing all the viewers of Prudent Media, as also fellow Goans, a very happy Statehood Day.
Sir, as we know, on 22nd March 2020, things changed for all of us. The reason was threat of COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister Narendra Modi that day first announced a one-day Janta curfew, which was later extended as a long lockdown. It changed many things, and one was work from home. And if we talk in terms of court proceedings, a new protocol was introduced, that was online hearing. So, sir, how would you recall those events after 22nd March 2020?
Well, as everything begins with generally experienced obscurantism, the court proceedings also began in the same fashion. There were a lot of apprehension on behalf of all the stakeholders, whether these proceedings in fact will be effective enough or not. But we could not forget one thing, or we should not forget one thing, that courts as an institution cannot shut down. It is the fundamental right of the citizen of India to have access to justice. So under the circumstances, in view of the pandemic, the courts had to evolve a particular method by virtue of which the litigants could be safe, the court staff and the judges could be safe. At the same time, the proceedings, which are of urgent nature at least, could be heard in a fair and a proper manner. So in these circumstances, one had to put up with whatever was happening. There were teething problems, no doubt. Right from the beginning, we have had a number of teething problems. We had no doubt had issues with electricity. We have had issues with net connectivity. And we also should not forget that all the lawyers, all litigants to that extent, are not computer savvy. So each one did encounter problems of getting this whole proceedings, first to set up the computer in a particular way. But I guess the younger generation are quite computer savvy. So most of our lawyers took help from our own children to get connected. Even today, my whole setup is organized by my son.
So, sir, did you ever think that this lockdown and the process of online proceeding will go so long because it is happening till date?
No, we were very hopeful that by the end of the last year, COVID scenario would change. No one expected a second wave. And we thought that we would be back with our robes into the courtroom. But unfortunately, that was not to be.
Sir, everything has a positive and a negative side. According to you, what is one thing good and bad about online hearing?
Well, as far as what is good about it is cost effective. The litigant need not travel the distance, nor the lawyers have to travel any distance to get to a court of law. They can sit in the precincts of their office or their own residences and deal with the litigation. And when we say that, you could appear in any part of India. It is not necessary that you are appearing here in Goa itself or any tribunal in Goa. You could go anywhere. So therefore, that's the big plus, no doubt. But the negative side of it is, it is the fundamental of a democracy that the court proceedings have to be open court proceedings. The litigant is entitled to go to a court of law physically and witness his case being argued. Now, by going about in a VC proceedings, unfortunately, this right cannot be given effect to And therefore, to that extent, there has been a sort of a drawback in this system. One other thing is, one should know that it is only open court proceedings which ensures accountability and transparency. So this is where we have been affected by the VC proceedings.
But sir, we have seen recently that Solicitor General of India easily appeared for the state of Goa before the High Court in a state appeal. So we can call it an advantage on that count?
Yes, see, everything has got two sides. Every coin has got two sides. So they always say if you love roses, you should be always wary of the thorns. So yes, there are plus and minuses in any system. So as I had said, we could also appear in Delhi because of courtesy the VC proceedings. But it is not, my personal opinion is, it is not as effective as appearing personally before a court of law. So it sounds very impersonal when we appear this way in a VC proceedings.
So do you think this feeling of not being personal is due to this online hearing is new thing?
Yes, you could say to a certain extent that we are not accustomed to this particular mode of arguments. First and foremost, we are not accustomed to sit and argue. We all stand up and canvass our propositions. So there are. It's a matter of maybe practice. It is safe. It is no doubt safe. I'll tell you one of the famous poems of Rabindranath Tagore, which says that where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. Now, with pandemic going around and the virus mutating to become more dangerous, the mind was bound to be in fear. Now, in these fearful circumstances, to appear and lead a case before a court of law would mean all the more difficult. But now, fortunately, the VC permits you to argue fearlessly.
So, comfort of to appear before the court on sitting on chair is making you uncomfortable?
Not really. But we are not accustomed to this kind of. Even right now, if had you to take my interview with me standing up, perhaps I would have felt more comfortable.
And sir, one more thing, you said that it is fundamental right to for the litigants to appear before the court. Can you elaborate this a little bit?
See, every right has a remedy. So if a person has a right, he has a remedy. He only has to find where that remedy is. Now, ordinarily, when we find this remedy, we approach a particular court of law and we present our case before it and seek redressal of our grievance. Now, this entire edifice of judiciary is planked or on a foundation that a litigant can come for the proceedings and get his case heard in person. If he does not want a lawyer, he could even appear in person. So therefore, the fundamental ethos, or in a democratic setup, it has always been that the court proceedings will be in open court and it will not be behind any curtains. Now, that's the only way that a litigant can understand what is going on in his case. He is entitled, that's his right to know what is happening in his case, how the learned judge takes a particular decision, and how his own lawyer argues. And now, because of the restrictions on this VC, somehow the litigants are not sent these links. The links are sent only to the lawyer. And the lawyer appears before the court on VC. So they don't get to see what is happening in their proceedings, which is unfortunate.
Suppose, sir, do you have opinion that litigants should also get this link? Because personally, I have made representation before the High Court Registrar that we journalists who are the regular court reporters should be given the link. I am very much hopeful that we journalists will be getting this link very soon. But do you think that this will change a little bit scenario if the litigants also get the link?
Yes, I am in agreement with you. My humble opinion is that these are open court proceedings, so all the stakeholders should have an opportunity to witness those proceedings in person if not in person, at least by a video conferencing. May it be the press or may it be the litigant. But I'll tell you, the problem why the public was not being given these links is for the simple reason is that see in a day the court has innumerable proceedings and there are innumerable litigants there. To send these links to all these people and then to control them in the sense not every litigant knows to mute his particular laptop or a computer. So whatever is spoken or discussed by them will amount to a disturbance in a court of law. And then the court can't have control over all this. While when it comes to lawyers, the lawyers are trained in a particular fashion that they undoubtedly will obey all those rules which are required to be followed by them once the court tells you that you are not to obstruct or disturb the court proceedings. So now the procedure which the court follows is when the two parties who are in the particular matter will only keep their speakers on while all others can watch the proceedings. When I say all others, all other lawyers who are waiting for their turn can watch these proceedings, but they are to keep their phones off or the camera off. So there is no disturbance from their end.
Sir, as a journalist, I am not allowed to visit in the trial courts, lower courts these days, so I am not aware that what is happening during the trial. You will be better person to tell me. But do you think that this online hearing is not appropriate for the trial in sense of questioning, examining one witness and then cross-examination? Do you think that physical appearance of a defense advocate is much better than this online hearing in that sense?
That's a very important question that you are posing. See, right now the evidence has not started in a court of law. There is no I think I am losing the picture. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
The court proceedings have not started physically for the purpose of conducting evidence. As of now, it's only urgent matters which are being argued before a court of law. But if you try to stretch these VC proceedings for conducting of evidence also, I most humbly feel that that will not be effective for the simple reason is, see, the court atmosphere itself is a deterrent. The witness, when he enters the box and takes his oath, he knows that he is supposed to speak the truth and nothing but the truth. Now, being in a VC, one does not know where he is sitting, with whom he is sitting, who is prompting to him, and how he has to go about. So there is no way you can control what the witness is going to say. He could even have a person tutoring him all the way through when the cross-examination is happening. But that does not happen physically in a court of law because the judge is there. The lawyer can notice whether he is being prompted to or not.
Sir, one thing we have learned that this online hearing is time saver and money saver. But
absolutely right.
Then suppose there is no threat of coronavirus and things become normal, then what would you pitch? Online hearing or physical hearing?
I am a strong supporter of physical appearances. And according to me, those are the most effective appearances. I do not think any lawyer will disagree with this, nor do I feel the learned judges will disagree with this. Physical way is the only way to go about in courts. This is a stopgap arrangement which could be understood under the circumstances.
And are you in favor of live telecast of court proceeding, which Supreme Court had said that it should be done long time back?
Yes, I am very much in support of live proceedings because live proceedings will only mean that the litigants can watch them. They can't participate in those proceedings. But the litigant can definitely watch what is happening in his particular case. So there are cases where litigants find it difficult to go to a court of law on account of various disabilities, financial or physical. So therefore, in these circumstances, if they can sit at their home and witness what is happening, it's a big plus for them.
Sir, my final question is that how have you been able to keep this coronavirus away from you till date?
Well, on my personal front, I have been strictly following the SOPs of the government. I have been masking myself. I have not been going out much unless dire necessity. But as and when I stepped out, it was always by masking or double masking. Uh, I was not into public gatherings or congregations. Tried to stay at home as far as possible. And that was the best way that I and my family could avoid the virus infecting us.
So according to you, bhupachi garaj na, but we have to be cautious and follow the COVID protocol.
I do not know now. The Bhupachi Garasna has become such a tagline. I will not use it. But yes, you have to take care, no doubt about it. The best line I would want to follow is stay home, stay safe, eat healthy, and do some exercises also for mental as well as physical.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. I hope that things become normal very soon and we will meet again in the courtroom physically. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. I also hope so.